So first of all, you guys need to have Python installed in your system, Python interpreter, and the next thing is the PyCharm or any IDE which you prefer. Okay. So let me just give you a demonstration that what we will be creating here. Okay. So run. Okay, so here this is our GUI that we will be creating. So this is a registration form, as you can see on the title bar here, right? Then here we have a login button. So see, when I bringing my mouse pointer on this button, it is changing to hand symbol. Okay, we'll see how we can do that. Then here we have a registration form that we have to fill up. Okay, before login we have to fill up this registration form if you are new. Okay, yeah, okay, Sharma. Okay, and then contact number. Okay, and then email, and then a security question, best friend name. So I'm writing my name here. Okay, and then a password. So what I want to show you that if I'm going to click it right now, so see, the message box is displayed that all fields are required, right? Because I have not filled this field. Next thing is that if I enter wrong confirm password here, so if I click on this registered, so it will say password mismatch. Okay, so we'll see how we can apply all these conditions here. Then if I give it a correct confirm password, okay, but I don't check this I agree all the terms and conditions. Okay, and register now, please agree to our terms and condition. Okay, so error message box is displayed here. Okay, so we need to confirm this. Okay, now if I click this register here, so see, if I instead of Dia, if I write Faizan@gmail.com, because with this email ID I already have registered one account. Okay, so if I register now, so it's see, we are getting a message that user already exists. Okay, so we cannot have a same email ID again. Okay, so that is why this is a new ID. And now if I click on this register now button, so see, registration successful. Okay, and once I click this OK button, we will be redirected to the login page here. Okay, so in this login page, so the email ID that I provided during the registration was sia@gmail. Oh, sorry, it was dia@gmail.com. Okay, and suppose I forgot the password here, right? Or just before that, let me just give it a password. So 1234, and click on this login button. So see, welcome. Okay, so it's successful because I have given a correct user email ID and then a password here. Suppose if I don't enter anything here and also here, and click on this forget password here, so it says please enter the email address to reset your password. Okay, so we need to enter the email address. Okay, so if I enter anything random like @gmail.com, okay, and if I click on this login button, so see, all fields are required. And if I also give a password here, some random password, and click on this login, so it says invalid email or password. Okay, and also if I write some email ID and click on this forget password, so it says please enter the valid email address, right? Because this is not a valid email address. Next thing is, so let me just make it valid. So the email address was dia@gmail.com. Now if I click on this forget password, so see, we got another window open. Okay, and this is a GUI. We will see how we can create this. So here we are asking about security question. Okay, so what was the security question? If I give any wrong security question, like what was the first name, okay, if someone tries to change a password, so if I give dog here and I try to enter a new password which is 1 2 only. Okay, and change password. see it says security question or answer is incorrect, please try again. Okay, so we have to give a correct security question, then only you can change the password. So the security question that I selected during registration was your best friend name. Okay, and if I give any other answer, wrong answer, and I try to check it, so it says security question or answer is incorrect. Okay, so I have to give a correct name answer here. Okay, both the question and the answer should match. Okay, now both the question and answer are similar, matching. Okay, and I have given a new password 12. Earlier the password was 1234. Okay, now the password is 12. Okay, so if I click the change password, so see password is reset, please log in with new password. Okay, if I click OK, so that window got destroyed. Okay, and now I can simply log in with that new password on. So the password was 12. Okay, if I click this login button, so say it says welcome. Okay, so means we have entered a correct username and password. And if you want to if you don't have any account and you want to register new account, so you can simply click on this register button, so you will be redirected to this particular page. Okay, so we will see how we can create that. So basically we will be using a database here to store all this data which you are filling in this form here. Okay, that data will be stored inside the database, and from there we will be applying some validation, some conditions to check that if this email is not existing in the database, then it should show error. Okay, that invalid email address, like you saw in the login system, right? So this is how it works. Okay, and suppose if I run it again, so if you already have an account, you can simply click on this login button and you can see this. Okay, so we will see how we can create this. So let's create it. Okay, so first of all, after opening a PyCharm, you have to go to this file and then select this new project. Here you have to, in place of this and title, you have to write your project name or the folder name, okay, in which your py file will exist. Okay, so you can give any folder name, it's up to you, login and registration system, whatever name you want to give it. Okay, and then after that you have to select this new virtual environment, and then you have to select the base interpreter. So base interpreter can be any interpreter of your choice. Okay, I think all the interpreters will work fine here. Okay, so you can use 3.8 or 3.7, it's up to you. Okay, I'll be using 3.7, and then you can simply click on this create button. Okay, so once you click on this create button, your virtual environment will be created. Okay, I will not be creating virtual environment again. Okay, because it will take time. Okay, so once a virtual environment will be created, you will see a window like this. Okay, so a window like this. Okay, you'll see a window like this. So the next thing is I'll be simply going to my recent and then login registration form. Okay, I'll be coding here. So yesterday only I have created this virtual environment. So once you will create the virtual environment, it will look like this. Okay, then next thing is that you will see a folder name here, whichever folder name you have, you must have given in the place of untitled. Okay, after coming to this folder name, then right click and then go to this Python file. Okay, after coming to this Python file, you can give any name to this Python file. I'll go with register.py. Okay, because this is the registration file that I'll be creating first. Okay, okay, so here first of all we have to create a GUI. Okay, so let me just run and show you what GUI we will be creating. So where is that file? Yeah, okay, so just I'm running it. Okay, so we will be creating how we can create this GUI. Okay, we will see how we can create this GUI. So first of all, I just want to show you that here I have used few images. Okay, so on this button, if you see, this is an image here. Okay, and if you see this registration now, this is also an image here. Okay, image on a button. Okay, and then the background which you see, this pink background, okay, this is also a image here. Okay, so we will be using three images in this form. Okay, so from where you will get these images, you can simply google. Okay, you can simply google login button png images. You will get a lot of images there. Similarly, you can google about register button. Okay, register images. Or the uh, one more thing that you can do, that you guys must be having the source code of it. Okay, I have provided everyone with the source code, right, of this registration form. So you can simply go into this source code, and from there you can simply copy few images. Okay, so how you can go to the source code, you will be simply opening it. Okay, in the explorer, right? So you will be simply opening that folder which I gave you in the explorer, and there, once the explorer is opened, you will see the images there. Okay, so what images you have to use is, one is this, you just have to select this image. Okay, this is the background image. Okay, then this register now button image. Okay, and then this login button, right? And yeah, so these are the three images that we will be using in this registration form. Okay, so see, I also have one more image register here. Earlier I used this image, but I thought this yellow one looks better, so I use this one. Okay, so it's up to you which image you want to use. So simply copy them. Okay, right click and copy these three images. So once you will copy them, you simply have to paste them on that particular environment. Okay, so you just have to go to this environment, virtual environment which you created, right click on this folder name and simply click this paste option. Okay, and click on this refractor. Okay, so once you will click this refractor, I think I have copied one extra file, is main.py file. Okay, so I'll simply delete this one. Okay, so I had to copy this image. Okay, this is the background image, then this button.png. Okay, and then this login.png. Okay, the size are different. For example, this login.png is of size 220 cross 730. Okay, and then this button is of size 150 cross 44 png. So you can get the size and set according to your screen. Okay, this is the background image, which is of size 1350 width and 710 height. Okay, okay. So what you have to do, first of all, we need to create this GUI. Okay, if you see carefully this, if I run it again. Okay, so I have copied the three images, this one, and the background image. Okay, now what we need to do, we simply have to create this registration form. Okay, so let's create that. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to create a window. Okay, so we'll see how we can create a window, and then after that we will see how we can add this background image. Okay, so let's do this. So here in this one. Okay, so here I'll be coding. So first of all, let's import the module which will be required in creating our GUI window. Okay, so the module name is tkinter. Okay, so I'll simply write from tkinter. Okay, import asterisk. So what this asterisk represents, this asterisk means that all the classes and methods of this tkinter module are getting imported here. Okay, in this project. And guys, just want to tell you that you must, everyone should have MySQL installed in their PCs. Okay, so let's start. So I have imported the tkinter module, all the classes and modules. Next thing is I have to create a window. So for creating a window, I'll be simply creating the object of this tk class. Okay, so this after creating the object of this tk class, we can see the window. Okay, so now we need to hold this window. So for holding a window we will be using this main loop. Okay, main loop method of this tk class. Okay, so this is a tk class. We are creating an object here. Okay, by creating the object of the tk class we get our window. Okay, but that window is not visible to us. Okay, so to because this window is displayed for very few microseconds. Okay, and then to hold that particular window we need to use this main loop. Okay, so what this main loop will do, this main loop will keep that window on a loop. Okay, so you will be continuously seeing that particular window. Okay, if I run without this main loop you will not be able to see that window. Okay, it will come and it will go, it will not be visible to our naked eyes, right? So to keep our window on hold we will be using this main loop here, right? If I simply run now you'll be able to see a window here. Okay, so this is the window here. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to increase the width of it and the height of it. Okay, and how much width and how much height we will be using, we will be using the same width and height just like this bg.png image. Okay, so this bg.png image is of 1350 width and 710 height, so we'll be using the same width and height here. Okay, so for increasing the width and height we have a method in tk class which is geometry. So I'm going to write root object name dot geometry here. Okay, and inside this geometry in the form of a string I have to pass the width and height. So width I'm going to use is 1350. Okay, and then x, small x, and then the height, that is 710. Okay, after that what I have to do, if I'm going to run this right now, so you will be able to see a window. Okay, so this is the width and this is the height. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to fix the placement from the x-axis and from the y-axis. So what I'll do, from the x-axis I'll place it at a distance of 100. Let me just show you what will happen. Okay, and from y-axis let me place it at a distance of 100 only. Okay, so you'll see that the window is placed at this position. Okay, so this is the distance from x-axis, this is the 100 distance from the x-axis, and similarly this is the 100 distance from the y-axis. Okay, so I'll not place at this position, otherwise you will not be able to see a complete window. So what I'll do, from x-axis I'll place it at a distance of uh, 10 maybe, and from y-axis also at a distance of 10. Now if I run it again, so you see the window is placed at this position. Okay, now this window is visible to us, and now we can do our working. Okay, so after giving it geometry, next thing is that I want to give a title to our window. Okay, if you see the title right now is tk written over here, so this is a by default title here. Okay, we need to change this title here. So I have to write a title that it is a registration form. Okay, so I'll be using title method here. So title method, and inside this title method in the form of a string I have to pass the name here. Okay, so name that I'm going to pass is registration form. Okay, so this is the name here. So now if I run this, you will see our title here. Okay, so we got a title at this position, right? Next thing is that we need to add a background image on this window, right? The background image that we saw just now. So this is the background image that we will be adding on our window. Okay, so for adding the background, first of all we will be creating object, okay, of this image. So we will be using a photo image class to create the object of an image, and inside this photo image I have to pass the location where my file is existing. Okay, where is this my image? Okay, see, if the image is in the same folder where our register.py is existing, so we just have to write the name of the file here. Okay, that is bg.png. If it was in some other folder, bg.png, if it was in some other folder, then the complete location we would have passed here. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll simply write the name of the png because it's in the same folder. Okay, and then I'll be creating the object name, so it will be bg image. Okay, bg image. Okay, now we can use this image. So I have created an object of this image. Next thing is we need to place this image object on a label. Okay, so to see a particular image on our window, we have to place it on some label. Okay, so what I'll do, I will simply create a label here, bg label. Bg label means background label. So variable name, you can use any variable name, but keep it relevant so that you can understand what you are using here. So we will be using a label class to create this label. Okay, and this label, first of all, we have to pass a master here. Okay, that where this label will be. So this label will be on my root window, on my main window, right? So root is basically my window here. So I'm passing root here. Okay, means this label will be on my root window. Next thing is image that I want to add on this label. So the image object name is bg image. Okay, that's it. Next thing is I want to place this. Okay, so if I run right now, you will not be able to see this image because we have just created the image. We have not placed it. Means from where to where, from where it should be placed. Okay, so we need to place it. So I'll write object name bg label dot place. Okay, and here I have to mention the x and y axis. So from x-axis I want it at a distance of 50, and from y-axis at a distance of 100. Let me just show you what will happen. Okay, so if I run now, so now you can see the image. So from x-axis it is at a distance of 50, and from y-axis, if you see, this is at a distance of 100. Okay, but I do not want this. I want to place it from at this position. Okay, so this coordinate will be 0 comma 0. So I'll pass x equals to 0 and y equals to 0. Okay, if I run now, so you see this image got placed from this position, right? So this is the complete background image that we will be using here. Next thing is, after creating this, we need to create a frame here. Okay, so this will be a frame, this position which you saw the registration form, okay, area. So this will be a frame first of all. Okay, so we will be creating a frame, and inside that frame we will be adding everything. Okay, so let's create that frame here. So it is basically a register frame. So I am giving a variable name register frame. Okay, and for creating a frame, we will be using a frame class. So this is a frame class, and similarly, this frame class, where I want this frame class, I want this frame class on my root window, right? Next thing is, I will simply place it. So register frame dot place. Okay, and I'll give x a value 630 and y a value 30. So I already know these coordinates, so that is why I'm directly writing these coordinates. Maybe according to your screen size or whatever screen size you give, so you might need to change these coordinates, right? So if I run now, we got a frame. If you see clearly here, we see this dot here, right? So this is our frame, but this frame has no width, no height. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to provide it some width and some height. So just after placing it inside root window, I'll provide some width and some height here. So width that I'm going to use is 650. Okay, and the height that I'll be using is same 650 here. Okay, so these are the keyword parameters that I'm passing here. Okay, if you see in the suggestions also, we are getting this star star keyword. Okay, so if I run this, to see, we got this frame, right? So this is the width here and this is the height here. Okay, so we got the width and we got the height. Just after this, what we need to excuse me, what we need to create, we need to create a title label. Okay, that title label with a text registration form which you saw at this position. Okay, if I show you my this project here, if you see, this is written here. Okay, so we need to create this registration form label. Okay, so this is a label with a text registration form. So let's see how we can create this. So just after creating this frame, we'll be creating a title label. and this title label will be using a label class to create this title label, and this label will be inside our registration frame now. Okay, so we can frame is basically a container in which we add labels and buttons. Okay, so this frame we created, and now I'm creating a label. Now that label I am inserting inside this registration frame. Okay, so after adding it inside registration frame, next thing is the text which you will see on the label, and the text is registration form. Okay, so this is the text that you will see, and then I'll set the font. Okay, or before setting the font, let me just show you how it looks. So title label dot place. Okay, if you will not place it, you will not be able to see this. So I'm placing it from x-axis at a distance of 20 and from y-axis at a distance of 5. Okay, so why I'm giving such low values? Because this is inside this register, this register frame, right? See, we got a register form here. So this x and y values are from this position, okay, where this frame is starting. So this is the x value and this is the y value, right? Because we are adding this inside this registration form, right? The next thing is we need to give some font to this registration form, and after that we will change its color, okay, the text color. So let's do that. So just after giving the text, I'll have to give a font here, and make sure the font is in the form of a tuple here. Okay, and this style that I'm going to use is Arial. Okay, then comma, and then the size is 22, and then I'll make it bold. Okay, so if I run now, so this is the registration form font we got. Okay, next thing is that we want to change the text of this font. So let's change the text color. Okay, so text color is known as FG. FG means foreground color, means the color of the text. Okay, you can either write foreground, complete foreground spelling, FOREGROUND, or you can simply write shorthand FG. Okay, and this here in the form of a string we have to pass the color name. So the color name here that I'm going to use is gold. Okay, gold is basically gold. Okay, so if I run now, you see we got this, right? So this is basically a gold color. So after creating this, next thing that we will be creating is first name label. Okay, where you will see the first name, and after that we will be creating a last name. So first name label, so this is a label here, similarly this is a label here. Then we have these two entry fields. So entry fields are basically text area where we will be writing everything in a single line only. Okay, so this is a created using entry class. Okay, this is basically a one line text area. Okay, so we'll be creating this also. Okay, so till here we have completed. So after creating this title label, then we have to create a first name label. So I'm giving a variable name first name label. Okay, and I'll be using a label class to create this label, and this label will be inside our registration frame. Okay, register frame. Okay, the text that you will see on this label is first name. Okay. Next thing is the font that I'll be setting for this name, first name text. Okay, the font that I'm going to use is Times New Roman. Okay, next thing is the size that is 18, and then I'll simply make it bold. Okay, so now I will simply place this. So I'll write first name label dot place. Okay, and where will I place this? I'll place it from x-axis at a distance of 20 and from y-axis at a distance of 80. So if I run now, you see we got this first name written here, right? with the font Times New Roman, right? Next thing is I need to change the background color. Okay. Background color is already white, so no need to change it. Okay, the color of the text we will change. Okay, so color of the text we will make it look like this. If I show you that project, I think I have. So let me just run this one and show you. Okay, so we will make the color look like this. So this is not completely black. Okay, so this is kind of gray. Okay, so we will be using that color. So it's up to you which color you want to use. So I'll simply change the color of the text, that is foreground color, to gray 20. Okay, this is the color name. Okay, the color names that you can use in this tkinter, you can simply Google, and from there you'll find a lot of colors that you can use. Okay, so this is a gray 20 color. Okay, you can give different values to it, like for example 80, so it will be a kind of light gray. Okay, so like this. So this way you can give different colors, gray colors. Okay, 1 2 up to 99. Okay, then after that, after creating this first name label, then we have to create an entry field, right? Entry field for first name label. So we'll let's create that entry field. So it's an entry first name. Okay, first name entry, or whatever name you want to give, and I'll be using an entry class to create that entry field. Okay, now this entry field will be inside our register frame. Okay, then next thing is the font, the text that you will write. Or before adding the font, let me just place it, dot place. And where I'll place it, I'll place from x-axis at a distance of 20, and from y-axis at a distance of 115. Okay, if I run now, you see we got this entry field here, right? So we need to make it look good, because I want to increase the width and the height of this. Okay, so first of all, let me provide some font. So with the size, it will automatically increase. Okay, so let's provide the font here. So font here that I'm going to use is the same, Times New Roman. Okay, and then the size I'll be using is 18. Okay, and this time I'll not make it bold or italic or anything. And then comma, then I want to change the background color. Okay, so background color that I want to change is to light gray. Okay, so it's light and gray. Make sure the spelling of gray gray. Okay, now if I run this, so you see we got this text area here, right? With a background color of light gray. Okay, this background color which you see. Okay, next thing is that if you see here that the width is a bit same, or a little bit increased. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply provide some width here. Okay, so just after this background, I'll be writing width here. Okay, and I'm providing a width of 250. Let me just run this again. Yeah, 250 is too big. Okay, so let's keep it like that only. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Okay, after that, after creating this first name, then we have to create a last name. Okay, the label first, and then its corresponding entry field. Okay, So what we have to do, we have to create the same kind of another label. So I'm simply copying this label here, and I'll be simply pasting it at this position. Okay, so instead of first name, now the variable name will change to last name, right? And this will also be inside this registration frame. The text of this label will change to last name. Okay, font will remain like this only, foreground color will be this only. Okay, now last name label dot place, where I'll place this. Okay, last name label should be placed from x-axis at a distance of 370. Okay, and from y-axis at a distance of 80. Okay, because from vertical distance has to be same as that of this first name label, right? So if I run now, so you see we got this last name here. Okay, next thing is we have to create the entry field for it. So what I am going to do, I am simply going to copy this entry field because it will be same entry field, and I'll be simply pasting it here. Okay, so it will be entry last name, last name, right? Font, background color, everything will be same here. Okay, and then we will place it from x-axis. It will be at the same distance 370, like this one. Okay, from x-axis it will be same distance, and from y-axis it will be 115 only. Okay, if I run now, so you see we got this. Okay, so here we can type our first name, here we can type our last name, right? So after this, the next thing, if you see here, is contact number and then email. Okay, so let's create contact number and email. So we will be using the same thing, same label. So I'm going to simply copy this. Okay, so this will be contact label. So see, I can place multiple cursors at multiple positions with the help of this alt key. Okay, so you can press the mouse button and press this alt key. Okay, and click mouse buttons at different positions. Okay, so on pressing the alt key, and then if you click mouse button at different positions, you will get multiple cursors. Okay, in PyCharm. Okay, next thing after yeah, so this is a contact label. Yeah, so we need to change the text also of this label, so it will be now contact. Okay, font will be same, foreground color will be same. Then contact label dot place, where I'll be placing this from x-axis at a distance of 20. Okay, similar to this entry first name. Okay, and then from y-axis it will be at a distance of 200. Okay, now if I run this, you see we got this label over here. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to create its entry field just below this. So I'll simply copy this entry field from here, and I'll be pasting it here. Okay, so this is a entry contact. Okay, and font, background color, everything will be same here. Okay, the x-axis will be 20. From 20 distance we will have this entry field, and y-axis will be 235. 235. Okay, if I run now, so you can see we got this entry field here, right? So after this contact, on this right hand side we have email. Okay, so let's create that email also. So the same thing, I'll be simply copying these two. Let me copy these two only. Okay, and simply I'll be pasting it here. So instead of contact label, this time will be email label, right? You can give any variable name, it's up to you. Okay, similarly this will be entry email. Okay, and the text here will change to email, and then we have to give the x and y axis. So from x it will be at a distance of 370, and y distance will be 200 only, and then this entry field from x axis will be 370. Okay, and the y axis will be 235 only. If I run now, so we got this contact and then this email here. So after this, what next? We have to create this security question and then answer. Okay, so let's create this security question. So in tkinter, what is the security box? This is basically a combo box. Okay, so this is a combo box where we can add all these values. Okay, so we'll see how we can create combo box in tkinter. So first of all, we need to create this label, security question label. Okay, so again a label here. So I'm simply going to copy this label. So we're creating the same kind of label here also. So it will be basically a question label. Okay, so I'll simply change the variable name, so it will be a question label. Okay, the text here will change to security question. Okay, and then everything else will be same here. It's just that we need to change the placements. So from x-axis it will be at a distance of 20, and from y-axis it will be at 320. Okay, I know these x and y coordinates, that is why I'm writing it directly. But when I was creating this project, I had to change values. Okay, to fix the particular size uh, place. Okay, so this is the security question here. Next thing is, after creating this security question, now we need to create a combo box. Okay, so to create a combo box, we need to import something. Okay, because ComboBox class is not inside this tkinter module directly. Okay, if you I told you that if you write asterisk, you are importing all the classes and methods of this tkinter module, but few are not included inside this, so we have to import them again. Okay, so I have to write from tkinter, not this one, from tkinter dot ttk import combo box, right? So this is a combo box that we will be importing here. Okay, so we have to write this line where we are writing the import lines. Okay, so from tkinter.ttk import combo box, this way we will be writing for accessing the combo box class. Okay, so here we can access our combo box class. So let me just create a variable first. So I'm giving a name combo question. Okay, and then I'll be using that ComboBox class. So for using that ComboBox class, we have to write like this: ttk dot ComboBox. So I think I made some mistake here. Oh, sorry, I have to directly use this ComboBox. Okay, so I have to write ComboBox. Yeah. Okay. So ComboBox, and this ComboBox will be inside our register frame. Okay, this combo box will be inside our register frame. Next thing is the font. Okay, font for this combo box, whatever questions you will write, that will be in that particular font. Okay, so I'm going to use Times New Roman. Next thing is the size. I'm keeping it to 16. Okay, and then I'll simply add the values. Okay, so I'll simply add the values. So there are two ways of adding values. The questions which you were saying, like what is your favorite pet, and uh, questions like that. So how we can add that? So the one method is that you can add a parameter here, values, and you can pass the values here only. Okay, in the form of a tuple, like here. Who is your favorite pet? Okay, like this, and then separated by comma. Then you can type another question. Okay, the other way we can do is to go to a new line. Okay, and here combo question, and in braces we we have to pass the values. Okay, because we are going to insert values. So if I show you what are values here, so these are the values. These are the values of first pet name, your birthplace, all that. These are the values here. Okay, so we'll be inserting these values. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I told you it has to be in the form of a tuple here. See, we don't have to download anything. No module has to be downloaded right now. Okay, this is inbuilt. You just have to write from tkinter.ttk import ComboBox. Okay. The other way which you could have done is to write like this. If not like this, then you could have written like this. So from tkinter, you can simply import ttk. From tkinter, import ttk. Okay, and then you can you'll get error right now. So to use this class, we have to write ttk dot combobox. Okay, like this. Okay, so there are two ways. You can either write from tkinter import ttk. First of all, you are importing this ttk module, and with the help of this module you are accessing this class, ComboBox class, right? And now we are simply inserting values inside this combo box. Okay, so the first value is select. Okay, then after that the next value is your first pet name. Then the next value is your birthplace. Make sure everything is inside single or double quotes. Okay, so your birthplace. After that, your best friend name. Okay, after that, your favorite teacher and your favorite hobby. Next one. Okay, so comma, your favorite teacher. Okay, and then you can simply go to a new line. Okay, separated by comma. Okay, so make sure you put a comma there. You can do like this. Okay, so after your favorite teacher, next is your favorite hobby. Favorite, like this. Favorite hobby. Okay, So these are the values that I have given to this combo box. Okay. After giving these values, the next thing is that I simply have to place this. See, I would have passed directly values here, but that would have looked a bit complex. Okay, that is why I have added values separately. Okay, so separately you can add font like this also. Okay, so you can write in square brackets font, and here you can mention the font. Okay, so this way you can also add. And the other method which you could have used is by using the config. Remember, we used to use config, right? So you could have used config also. So combobox.config, and inside value like this. So combobox.config, and here inside this bracket, okay, you could have passed like this, values equals to, like this. Okay, so this is also fine. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So there are three ways. Okay, so I'll go with this one, but you can use anyway. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to simply place this, because if I run right now, nothing will be happening there. Okay, because we have not added anything. Okay, so let me just add this. So I'm going to write combo question dot place. Okay, and where I'll place this, from x-axis at a distance of 20, and from y-axis at a distance of 355. Okay, next thing is I'll simply run this now. Oh, I'm getting an error here. Getting an error here. Font equals to Times New Roman. Oh, okay. So see what the error is. It says expected integer but got new. Okay. So what we need to do after providing this Times New Roman, okay, this size has to be without strings. Okay. So like this we have to write the size, right? Now if I run it again, see we got a security question here, and if I click on this arrow, so we got all the values that we have written just now. Okay, and if you'll select any particular value, so you'll see that we have placed it here, right? And with this font, so this is Times New Roman font. Okay, so your first bit like this. Okay, you can also put this selector. And one thing is that this cursor is blinking here, and if you anyone can they can see modify this, right? So I do not want this to happen. Okay, like this, your birthplace, and someone can modify this. It doesn't look good, right? So what we can do, if you see here in this one, you cannot do any modification. Like if I'm clicking my mouse pointer, you will not be able to change the values. Okay, so for that, what we are going to write here, where we have created after this font, you can write state equals to read only. Okay, means I want this combo box values only readable. Okay, and no changes or modifications can be done on that. So that is why I'm writing state equals to read only. Okay, now if I run this, so if I select anything, and if you want to do any changes, you will not be able to do any changes, because this is read only. Okay, you can only read this. Okay, the next thing is that if you see, if I run it again, if I just run it again, okay, so see there is no by default value which is here. So I have created the select, that is why, because I want to select it. Okay, I want to select it as a by default value. So here when I run this program, here it should be written select. Okay, so we'll see how we can do that. So just after placing it, we have to write current value. So current value, so combo question dot current. Okay, so this is the method of this combo box class. Okay, So current, and here we have to pass the index. Okay, so which index you want to make it by default. uh, when you will run it, you will see it by default. So if I am passing the 0th index, means this value will be shown by default. If you will pass the 1th index, you will see this value. If you will pass the 2th index, you will see this value. So if I pass 2 here, you will see this, your birthplace by default. Okay, so if I run now, you see we are getting your birthplace. Okay, so if I pass the current value as 0, so we'll see select there. Okay, yeah, now it looks good, right? The next thing is, yeah, so after that we are done with this, right? Next thing is we have to create this label and then its corresponding entry field. So let's do it. So after this, creating this combo box and setting the current value, next is the answer label that we will be creating. So answer label, I'll be simply copying this label because it has to be a same label. So I'm simply pasting it. So after this question label, it has to be a answer label, and the text that we will be using is answer here. Okay, and the x-axis and y-axis values will change. So from x, it will be at a distance of 370. Okay, and from y-axis, it will be at a distance of 320 only. Okay, so just after this, we also need to create entry field. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm simply copying this entry field from here, and I'll be pasting just after this. Okay, so this is entry for answer. So entry answer, right? And everything, font and background color will be same here. We only need to do the changes in this x and y axis. Okay, so x is 370 only and y will change to 355. So it will be 355. If I run now, you will see the label and the corresponding entry field, right? So this is the label and this is the entry field here. Okay, the next two that are remaining, if I run again this one, yeah, so next is password and then confirm password. Okay, so let's quickly create that password and then confirm password here. So again, it is a label and then corresponding entry field is required. So I'll simply copy both the two and I'll paste it here. So next one will be password label. So this is the password label here, and similarly we will have entry password here. Okay, so this is password. Okay, and the text will change to password here. Next thing is the password label dot placement. So password label will be placed from x-axis at a distance of 20. Okay, and from y it will be at a distance of 440. Okay, similarly this entry field from x-axis at a distance of 20 and from y-axis at a distance of 475. 475. Okay, now if I run this, you see we got this password here. Okay, next thing is confirm password. So I'm going to paste it again. So this time this will be confirm password, right? So this one will be confirm password. Okay, confirm password label and confirm password entry field. Okay, and here the text will change to confirm password. Okay, next thing is this label, where I will place this label. So this label will be placed from x-axis at a distance of 370 and from y-axis at a distance of 440. Okay, Similarly, this one will also be at 370 only, and from y-axis will be at this position 475. 7. The next thing is, after this, after creating the confirm password, if I show you what is next, next is this check button. Okay, so this is a check button here. Okay, so we will see how we can create this check button with this text. I agree all the terms and conditions. Okay, so let's create that check button here. Okay, and make sure you write everything inside this main loop only. Okay, because this main loop is keeping our window on hold, so it is continuously running and keeping our window on hold. So if you'll write anything just after this, it will not be executed. Okay, it will not be executed unless you close the window. Okay, so after this entry confirm, we need to create a check button. Okay, so let's create a check button, and I'll be using a check button class to create this. So check button, okay, check button is a class in this tkinter module. Next thing is where I want this check button. I want this inside a registration frame, right? Next thing is the text which you'll see on this check button is I agree all the terms and conditions, right? The next thing is I'll provide on value equals to 1 and off value equals to 0. I'll tell you why I'm using this on value and off value later on. Okay. Next thing is the font for this text. Okay, I agree all the terms and conditions. So I'll move to a new line so that it is visible to you. So font equals to, it has to be in the form of a tuple. Okay, so font that I'm going to use is Times New Roman. Okay, then the size I'm going to use is 14, and then I'll make it bold. Okay, next thing is that I'll simply place it. So I'll write check button dot place, and where I'll place this, I'll place from x-axis at a distance of 20 and from y-axis at a distance of 530. Okay, now if I run it, so see we got this I agree all the terms and conditions here, right? I think it's similar to this one only. Yeah, it's similar. So what you guys can do, you can change the color of this. It's up to you that you want to change the color or not. Okay, so if you want to change the color, you can simply write just after this font the fg equals to gold maybe, so that it can match. Okay, let me just run and see how it looks. So it looks like this. So I think black was looking better, so I'll remove this font here. It's up to you that you want to use or not. Okay, you can do all the modifications which you want. Okay, next thing is that after this check button, what next is there? Yeah, if I see here, we have this button here, register now button. Okay, if I click right now, it gives me error that all fields are required. Okay, so I have given this error message box to be displayed at this position. Okay, so I have done this functionality. So we'll see this functionality just after some time. So right now we need to create this register now button. Okay, so we'll see how we can create that. So for that I have this image button.png, I think. Yeah, this image that I'm going to use on a button. Okay, so let me just create object first. Okay, so this will be a button image. Okay, and I'm going to use photo image class to create the object, and I have to pass the file name. Okay, so the file name is button.png. Okay, next thing is I have created the object of image, then I have to place it on a label. Okay, so for that I'll be creating a label here. So this is a register button. So you can place this image on a label or on a button. This time I'm placing it on a button. Okay, so register button. So this is a button here. Okay, and this button will be on my register frame. Okay, this button will be on my register frame. Then the image will be this image, button image. Okay, so button image, if I simply place it now, so register button dot place. Okay, and where I'll place it, from x-axis at a distance of 250, and from y-axis at a distance of 580. Okay, now if I run this, so we added a image on our button, right? But this image doesn't look good right now. Okay, because of this button size, right? So what we going to do, see, you see a border, right? This border, outside border. So we'll remove this border. So I'm going to remove this border first of all. So let me just remove this border and see how it looks. So I'm going to write bd equals to 0. Okay, so bd stands for border, and border I'm setting it to 0. So now if I run this, you see the border is removed now, right? Right, so it looks good. Yeah, so let's continue. So we are done with this button, register now button. The next thing is we have to create a button at this position also here, right? We have to create a button at this position also. So let's create a button. So in that particular button, I'll be using this image, login.png, this image. Okay, so let's do it. So the same thing, these three lines only will be required in that also. So I'll be simply changing the variable names. Okay, so this is a button image, so let me make it login image. Okay, login image, and the file name will change here. Okay, so instead of button.png, this time this will be login.png. Okay, then instead of register button, this will be a login button. So I'll give a name to this, login button. Okay, next thing is that this button will now not be inside this register frame, right? This will be inside our main window. Okay, if you will keep it in register frame, so it will be shown in the register frame area only. Okay, but I do not want that. Okay, next thing is I'll place it from x-axis at a distance of 240. Okay, and from y-axis at a distance of 330. Now if I run this, you see we got this. But hold on, the image which you see here is the same image. Okay, because we have not provided a correct variable name. Okay, if you see, I have provided image equals to button image, so that is why this button image is getting displayed, right? So what we need to do, we need to change it to login image. This image equals to login image. Now if I run this, you see we got this, right? The next thing is you can change the background color. I think that will not have an impact. So I think this is fine here. Okay, or you can give a border color. Let me just try to give a border color. So background color, I'll give it gold. Okay, and let me just run this. Okay, so this is the border which you are seeing at this position. Okay, so now this is fine, this looks good. The next thing is that if I bring my mouse pointer on this button or on this button also, okay, it should change to hand symbol. Okay, so for that what I have to write in this button, okay, so I'll pass cursor parameter. Okay, and this I'll pass the hand to. Okay, so this hand to represent that hand symbol which you see, and similarly in this register button also I have to pass the same thing. So cursor equals to hand. Okay, if I run now, you see when I'm bringing my mouse pointer on these buttons, it is changing to hand 2 symbol. Okay, if I use hand 1, that let's see how it looks on this register button. So this is hand 1. Okay, so this is how it looks. So it's up to you that which one you want to use. Okay, so I'll be using hand 2. Yeah, so we are done with the GUI part.